Whee! So recently I came across this video that was called "What if Charlemagne would have restored the Roman Empire?" And this video explored the possible marriage between Charlemagne and the Empress Irene of the Byzantine Empire. Now their marriage would have been quite interesting, as Charlemagne, as you can tell, he was pretty great, and Irene actually started off as a regent and eventually blinded her own son, who was the emperor, and then killed her to name herself the empress. But let's not get too much into casual Byzantine politics, and let's instead say that Charlemagne and Irene's marriage would have actually gone through, and they would have had an heir. Now Charlemagne was in his 70s and Irene was in her 40s, so their marriage would have been very unlikely to actually produce any heirs. But let's say some miracle happened, or perhaps they adopted a son or a daughter, and let's say that heir would have actually gone to rule the Calling and the Byzantine Empire. So let me introduce you to the unholy Roman Empire. And as you can see, it is very unholy, as it doesn't even share a border. So a unification between the Carlings and the Byzantine Empire, and let me introduce you to the heir, Emperor Constantinus the 7th the Great. 7th Great, yeah, sure. Now he is supposed to be the offspring to Carling and Irene, and he was born in the year 800, which makes him 67 years old in the 867 start date, and he is also a member of the Carling dynasty, or I guess the member, as he is the heir to the empire. Now I could not actually put Charlemagne and Irene as the parents, but that doesn't matter too much. We are 67, we have ruled this empire for quite a time, and as you can see, we have picked up administrator, as you have to be able to administrate to rule such a chaotic empire. And yeah, we've also had some children. This right here is our player heir. Now perhaps the Greeks and the Carling, the French, do not like each other, but the Carlings have adopted the administrative government. As you can see, all of the Carling kings are still here, but they are viceroys, I guess that is what they're called in the administrative government. And yeah, we are the emperor. This is also our council. The Pope is our chancellor. The actual heir of the Carling Empire, Louis, where he was supposed to be the heir, he is our steward. We have this Greek governor as our marshal, and we have the Lothar of Lotharingia as our spymaster. So we have given 2 council positions to kinsmen. And we do start off at war with the Akhlabid Sultanate. They are attacking us. They have about 5,000 men. 2,000 of these are special soldiers, but they're not all levies. They are actually pretty capable fighters. Now before we start, I just wanted to announce that next week we are going to be holding a multiplayer game. And if you want to be a part of this game, be sure to join the Discord. We will be making a video about it. So again, if you want to be a part of that, join the Discord, sign up, and yeah, we'll see when we actually host it. But I will no longer waste any time, as we have a Roman Empire to restore. That's right, we have 2 objectives. Objective number 1 is actually keeping this empire together and make sure that it does not collapse. And objective number 2 is to restore the actual Roman Empire and become the Augustus of the Roman Empire. Now there are still a lot of strategic points that we have to conquer, like Antioch, Alexandria, Jerusalem, Venice, everything that you could imagine. And we also need to reach legendary figure, and I don't believe that we'll be able to do it with this guy. He is 67. So I guess we'll just secure our realm, make sure our heir gets everything he needs, and then we'll also, of course, fight the Aghlabids. And we actually don't start off with a big army, or at least with not many men-at-arms. I have spent a big portion of the imperial treasury to create a personal army, an army for the empire, and an army for the Duchy of Constantinople. And as you can see, they still need to be filled. They only have 5 troops in every regiment, and that's not enough. So we'll have to wait a bit before we enter a battle. Now, is there anything else worth mentioning? I guess I gave Hasty Normandy in hopes that he forms the Norman culture. So let's get into it. The first step to form Rome is actually handle this defensive wars against the Sultanate. So I will let my army develop and then we'll fight the Achlabits. About half a year in, and it seems Hastine has formed the Norman culture and also become Catholic. Very interesting. Now, this hopefully does something. I hope maybe bring more mercenaries or something. And yeah, I also noticed we actually didn't have a coronation or weren't coronated. So we are holding a coronation in Rome. Okay, so this coronation is going incredibly. We've gotten a battle axe, the Pope is our friend, and now I can tell our kinsman, Charles the Bold, the King of West Francia, to attack the King of Brittany, King Solomon, and yeah, he'll actually attack the whole kingdom, which adds a kingdom to our realm. So you know what? Let's do that. I'll let him attack this guy. And yeah, he's immediately declared the war. Now he only has 1,500 men, but yeah, let's see if he can conquer Brittany. Now I hate to tell you, Sultan Muhammad, but you are a bit too early to sack Constantinople, and we should be able to win this war. We do have a little bit of advantage. They might have a little higher quality. They might have higher quality men than us, but it seems we are winning. Now, after this battle, we should go back and siege back the two counties they've taken, Malta and Syracuse, I believe. So let's make our way back down here and then siege these back. And we actually need Croatia to form Rome. So you know what? I can either spend influence or low feudal. You know what? I'll put it to normal and I'll spend 60 influence. We have 1,000, so that should be fine. And now we will make sure that we actually win this defensive war. Now I have siege both of these counties back, and it seems they have siege a few counties up here. And they think they can escape, but let's prove them wrong. Let's attack him. This guy has 38. This is actually our player heir and son. He has 38 advantage. That is pretty damn good. And there we go. He makes short work of the Achlabit army. So let's siege back our counties. And then we should be pretty close in winning, I believe. Yes. So let's make sure they don't siege back Syracuse and Malta. I'm not sure why I hold these. Maybe I have inherited them. So let's grant them away. Now I wasn't meant to actually go straight into battle from sea, as it does give a massive disadvantage, but it does not matter. We were victorious and now we have secured Sicily, I guess, or at least kept small parts of it, and we definitely need to conquer this land that they do hold. And we can do holy wars. That is very cool. So now, considering that we want to restore the Roman Empire, we'll have to conquer a bunch of land, and I think the wisest course of action is to actually start the legend a Roman heritage, which will give us a claim on every existing title within the Roman Empire. And I'm not sure if I want to do it with this character. I think it would be smarter to do with my son, as he might live longer. But maybe if I do go down medicine in a moment, then we'll live a little bit longer. But I'm not sure if those claims are actually gonna be pushed or if they're just gonna be unpressed claims. So I think I will play it safe and I will let my son do the conquering, as he is also a brilliant strategist, so he can lead the campaigns himself. But I think for now we might do some holy wars like against Sicily, as we have beaten them. They are in debt. They only have 2,500 men. So as soon as my men have recovered, and it seems they have recovered, so let's just start the war against Muhammad the Unworthy and take the rest of Sicily back. And yeah, we should be able to win this quite easily. We won the defensive war and he's fighting a peasant uprising. So we'll take Sicily and then we'll see if we can maybe vassalize Benevento, as they are pretty close. They need a little bit more opinion and then they will accept. So let's take care of this war and then see if there's anything else we can expand within this life. So here I am wondering who dares to attack the most powerful man in the world, and of course it is a man who is stupid, so that does not surprise me at all. And he is quite a big boy. Now where will he be? Okay, it seems the Achlabits have started sieging Malta. I didn't even notice that, and this guy only has 2,000 men and he's increased. Maybe they do not like the fact that I am French. I also don't like the fact. I think we need to minimize the French influence. But yeah, take care of the peasant uprising and then we'll take care of the Aglavits. Okay, so I did just fight them 2 times there, and the second time actually was an accident as I was sending these men down here to siege, and it seems I actually wiped their armies. So Sultan Muhammad is not looking too good. So let's enforce demands. We will get the Emirate of Sicily, and it seems I can actually vassalize Slavonia. Yeah, they are our tributary. They became our tributary during our coronation, I believe. Now we are getting closer and closer to actually getting a border with the Byzantine Empire and the Holy Roman Empire, or the Carolingian Empire. And you know what? I can actually take the decision to evangelize the pagans. So let's send the missionaries. Let's see if they do accept. And somebody joined my court, and I'm not sure if that takes some time or it happens immediately, but let's see if anything changes. And this is the biggest part I hate on administrative governments. I just keep inheriting random titles because nobody can be bothered to proclaim an heir. So I'm gonna use a big part of my time just granting titles and counties away that I do not want. As you see, administrative government works in the way that you use influence to vote for the heir of the title. So for example, if I wanted this 10-year-old calling boy to rule this title, I could influence it, but he's a child, so actually, let's say I want this bastard to rule this title. I can use 116 influence to make him the primary heir of this title. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of influence, so that could definitely create a lot of chaos. But we're not gonna do that. We are focusing on the Roman Empire. Now, I'm not sure how in God's name my son has gotten that good of stats. He has gotten Exalted Warlord. Interesting. And he has 30 stewardship, which is more than I have. Yeah, he is getting quite a bit from his spouse. And also Marshall, +5 and +7. Oh, his wife is actually a lowborn genius. I think that might be my doing. I'm not too sure though. And yeah, this is, I feel like, a Game of Thrones fantasy fiction level character, and you know what? Let's allow it today. This guy would definitely not be in the 400 points limit, but I do not mind it today. He will be the guy who restores the Roman Empire and is the heir to the Byzantine Empire and also the Carolingian Empire. So I think a man with stats like that, we definitely have to save that legend for him. And yeah, we are making quite a bit of money. We're making 44 gold a month. So you know what, I will make it this character's mission to kind of get a border going on, or I guess unify the empire by land. And I will start conquering the Balkans here. They are all of the Slovianskan faith, so I can declare holy wars against them. For example, this guy, I could declare a kingdom level holy war if I would gain a little bit more piety. And against these guys, I could declare duchy wars. So you know what, let's start doing that. We should be able to defeat these first guys with only our men-at-arms, and then maybe we declare a holy war, a kingdom level holy war against this guy. And boom, look at that. This war will unify our empire by, I guess, well, yes, now we have a coastline down here that connects the Byzantine and the HRE. And why is our estate down here? I'm not too sure. Maybe I started off there and it's bugging. But yeah, we have now gotten a coastline. We've also vassalized the Duke of Benevento. He also lost Apulia to the King of Italy. And I think now I will start a duchy war against this guy to secure all of Sicily and all of Italy. And maybe we'll actually take the Sardinia as well at some point. But for now, we will handle this count down here, take the duchy of Calabria, and maybe even give the kingdom of Sicily to somebody. But let's see about that. And there we go, a few battles and 2 sieges has added this duchy to our empire as well, and we have now secured, I guess, the Italian peninsula, and you could say now it is looking somewhat like Rome. Now we do need to conquer a bit to actually restore the Roman Empire, but that is our son's mission, and I do hope that this character does die soon. I'm not sure why his health is fine, even though he's 76. Now it seems our daughter has died in childbirth, but this might not be the worst thing for us. As you can see, it gives us stress, and this could make us abdicate or something else and put our son on the throne. So I was a bit confused when this popped up. You can vassalize Petty King Alfred, and yeah, it seems my plan worked. It seems Hastin, I believe, yeah, Hastin has expanded into England, and for some reason he has seized Winchester from the Wessex king. So you know what, I will spend some influence and add England to our empire. And yeah, as you know, England actually was a part of the Roman Empire. It was called Britannica, I believe. And we can now vassal a lot of people in the English kingdom, so let's do that. And you know what, we will create the Kingdom of England and we will give it to Alfred and see if it motivates him to actually attack Jorvik at some point. So let's do that. He is now a very capable man, 25 marshal, and you know what, I will put him as my marshal. And let's see if he actually takes back the rest of England. So I have just started a legend, the Guardian of the Catholic Holy Site, in hopes that I can evangelize the realm. As you see, I have a faction against me, the Greek Orthodox Populist, and as you can see, they can be quite powerful. So my idea is kind of convert all of the Orthodox rulers. Now, some of you might not like this, but it is gonna save us some civil wars. And I've also gotten this, a bargain for fealty. The Sultan of Al-Andalus has come to us, and I'm pretty sure this means he wants to become our vassal. Or does this mean that he wants to become a tributary? I'm not too sure, but let's accept this. And what does that actually do? Maybe the Sultan is just trying to rage bait me, but that is definitely interesting that he wants to become a vassal or tributary. I'm not sure which one it was. And when I press accept, he just doesn't. Nothing happens. Very interesting. But let's see how long we live on with this character. Now it is nice to see that I'm not the only one expanding. It seems our vassal has taken the county of Chandax back, and it gives some pretty nice modifiers here, like this one, building construction cost -20 in that holding, and I also gain a bunch of monthly income, so very nice. And this is not the only time it has popped up. I got the event for Bari, and I'm pretty sure for 2 other counties. Now where is the county of Chandax? It is actually this island over here, and I also saw that I can pay people or use influence so that they attack somebody. For example, Chaldea right here has 1.5k men, and I can summon to war, which means I can give them a part of my army and they will attack somebody. So you know what, let's use 750 prestige and see if this actually does something. He will attack this duchy down here. So let's see if he accepts. He does. And now, okay, maybe that was not the wisest decision. He is now fighting the Caliph of the Abbasid Empire, and he is heavily outnumbered. Can we actually join his war? No, we cannot. Okay, maybe I just put him into a very tough position. I was thinking he will only attack the Duke, but it seems the Caliph does want nothing to do with that. Well, at least the Caliph is fighting a civil war, so maybe he will be too busy in that war to actually fight our vassal. Okay, it seems I have gained enough stress that we can reach level 3. Now let's see if I actually abdicate or murder somebody on accident. So yeah, okay, I can abdicate. Very interesting. You know what? Let's do that. Let's abdicate. Let's make sure our son is the primary heir to everything. He is very good. So let's abdicate and our son will rule in our stead. There we go. We ruled for 14 years and I guess about 40 years on top of that. And now he is here to guide our son, and I'm not sure our son needs much guidance. He is an exalted warlord, and I mean, look at those stats. I'm not even sure where he has gotten them. I'm pretty sure I gave him average stats when I created this character. Now I think lifestyle wise we will reset our perks. I think we want to pick up strategist and then certain perks. Not everything. Gallant is decent, but we definitely want to start off with medicine focus as we are over 45. So let's get strategist done, and then we will pick up a stalwart leader going down all the way to household guards, and then we can pick up 2 more perks down here in overseer. And considering we want to make legends, we'll go down wayfarer, and sure, let's pick that. And then we will just make our way down the whole of body tree as we are 46. And it doesn't matter how good stats we have, it will not influence our health. So medicine is definitely something we have to do. Now to put our stress a little bit down, I will hold a feast. And once we have held it, I will start a campaign against Tunisia down here, or these Maghrebi leaders, as we do need to hold the Duchy of Islit, or the Duchy of Tunis, I guess. And yeah, we'll claim that with 2 wars. And then after we have done this legend, we will start the Roman heritage, which will give us claims on everything that belongs to the Roman Empire. So that is definitely gonna help us out massively. But for now, let's hold the feast first to put down our stress. Now we were waiting for it for a while, but bad news, our father has died. Constantinus the Great at 82, he died from stress. Now I will start the war against Tunis, and yeah, we'll start off with this duke and also declare war on this guy, and we will take the whole duchy within 2 wars. Yeah, literally 1 siege later, in 9 months, we have taken the Duchy of Tunis. Now, to actually restore Rome, we must be a living legend, and I think it is wise to start getting fame as soon as possible. So I think I will hold a grand tournament. It seems another rage baiter has arrived. This guy, the Kingdom of Navarra, he's saying a bargain of fealty. Now, if I accept this, yeah, he is not joining us. I think, yep, he's still independent. So I'm not sure what that is all about. Maybe I get his troops. I doubt it. But yeah, very interesting indeed. But we have a whole grand tournament to hold. We have 33 prowess, so hopefully we can actually gain something from this. Now it seems somebody has actually taken this county off of Venice, and you know what, I might as well take the actual county of Venice, as I can take it with 1 war. And there we go, we have reclaimed Venice. And yeah, that is actually one of the counties, or I guess duchies, that we have to hold to restore Rome. Okay, so I have figured this out now. I can modify the, I guess, contract with these guys. For example, this guy, he has a military contract, which means he gives us more levies than taxes. But I can change this to a frontier. And if I do that, I can then press the summon to war. And I can have him attack this guy over here, who is now actually independent. He's an Armenian a Muslim ruler who is independent, so I will give him my armies and he will then attack this duchy. And once he is done with that war, I will pay then another man to, I guess, attack, or I'll do it myself. I'll then attack the Duchy of Antioch, and that will also be one of the counties that we have to hold, or duchies that we have to hold to restore the Roman Empire. And it seems our plan has worked. The duchy has definitely gotten smaller. Our vassal did win against him, and it actually seems that we got the counties. Not too sure why, but I will usurp it. And there we go, very simple. We now hold the Duchy of Antioch, and there we go, we have restored the Pentarchy seat. This will give us a bit of opinion and learning, very nice. And soon we will be taking back Jerusalem and then Alexandria, and then we should be very close to forming the Roman Empire. The only thing we will need is the living legend level of fame, and it seems we can actually now increase our legend and complete it. This is the legend that allows us to evangelize the realm, and we can now do it. There we go, and let's see. How much has Christendom just changed? Not too much. Well, we have evangelized the Poles, but that was actually the decision that we took earlier from evangelize the pagans. But yeah, our empire is now pretty much mostly from our faith, the Catholic faith, and Constantinople as well. Now I am going to start the Roman heritage legend. It is probably gonna take a while, but then we will have a claim on everything that belongs to the Roman Empire. So I have actually gone and increased the quality a second time, as we have gotten it to 300 baronies. And now all we have to wait is 53 days, and then we will be able to complete it. And yeah, 20 more days. And there we go, we can now complete and claim Roman heritage. Let's see what kind of claims we get. And here we go, it seems we have gained 92 claims. We have gained claims on kingdoms that we already control. And Georgia, Hayastan, Egypt, and then probably 1,000 duchies, if I can guess. Egypt is definitely gonna help out. Let's see. Yeah, I can attack all of Egypt. I will get Alexandria. And have I also gained claims? Yeah, I have gained duchy claims. Sadly, not kingdom claims. But this will be enough to actually reclaim Jerusalem. But we will start off by conquering Egypt. So here we are in Egypt. We will attack their armies. We should be able to defeat them quite easily. And yeah, I have just gotten the trait infirm. That is very bad for us, but I think we should still be able to restore Rome. And as you might notice, I might have gone a little bit overkill on the onagers. We have 200 of them, which means the Egyptians' capital is gonna take 25 days to siege down. This will make our campaigns a lot shorter. So yeah, there we go. We have finished this war in 12 months, and the first months we used to raise up our men. And we have restored Alexandria. Look at that. I think I will declare now on the Abbasids. They are very weak, and we now have a border with Jerusalem. So let's raise up all our men down here. They are also fighting a civil war, which is very good for us. And it is gonna take 6 months for us to raise up our men. Right, I think this game does not want us to restore Rome. It is doing everything in its power to give us negative health modifiers. We have just gained melancholic, which, well, we are still fine, but we are infirm and melancholic. Hopefully we can pick up a whole of body as soon as possible, because otherwise all of this will be for nothing. Now we do still need about 10,000, yeah, 12,000 prestige, but those titles, the creation of those titles should come in handy. And as you can see, we are sieging quite fast down here. We have already sieged the war target, and yeah, a lot of other baronies and castles. We've actually just finished the war. 15 months, the first 6 months was raising our men, so we have just restored Jerusalem to our empire, and look at that. If I'm not incorrect, we should now hold most or all that we need. And yeah, all we need to do now is pick up legendary figure. And we have 3,000 gold. So you know what? I will declare or create all those titles and see if it is enough to become a living legend. So I have just used all of my gold, and as you can see, we have 15,000 prestige. We are very close to being a legendary figure. We need 3,000 more, but considering we are making over 40 a month, this should take no time to do. Wow, actually perfect. We can sell one of our cities for 500 gold. That is gonna help us out massively by creating titles. And as you can see, it only costs 87 to create these duchies, and each one gives about 300 prestige, I believe. Yeah, 300 prestige for 87 gold. That is a pretty good bargain. And now we should be able to finish this very soon. Okay, so one more title and we will reach 15,000 prestige. The Duchy of Bourbon will do it. And there we go. You see how that crown is shining. We are now a legendary figure. Let's just give this duchy away to this guy. And then we can restore the holy... Not the holy. We can restore the Roman Empire. Look at this. We will gain the trait Augustus. We will gain a new Caesar legend seed. And most importantly, we will get the Roman Empire. So here we go. Look at this. Justinian's dream realized, and we shall take no half measures. This should give us the Conqueror trait, I'm pretty sure, and it also gives us the Pax Romana Casus Belli, and I will be taking Hellenism as our faith. So let's do that, and let's see what the world looks like. I am now the Roman Empire, and look at that beautiful color. And it seems I have not gained the trait Conqueror. Maybe I remember that incorrectly. But what we have gotten is a Casus Belli called the Roman Invasion, or Restoring Imperial Provinces. But we now have the Roman Invasion Casus Belli. If we would attack Andalusia, we would gain the whole empire of Hispania, or I guess most of his land. And for example, the Abbasids, let's see what we have against them. We have an invasion of an empire. We can attack the Abbasid Empire. And yeah, we now have very strong Casus Bellis, for example, against Bulgaria. And we could take most of Bulgaria that actually belongs to the Roman Empire. And yeah, look at that. These are the de jure borders right now. I'm not sure why Italia is not in this empire. Maybe that's a bug, or maybe you actually have to hold the Empire of Italia for it to happen. But this is now also what the faith looks like. There are a lot of Catholic regions, and maybe we should have evangelized the realm with this faith. But yeah, this is the Roman Empire. And this was what if Charlemagne married the Empress of the Byzantines, Irene, and had an offspring. This is Constantinos the Great. And I think I will leave it here. We are a mighty empire, and yeah, it is very interesting to see. We are French, and we could form a hybrid culture with the Greeks. And we actually have 100% cultural acceptance with the Greeks. Maybe I gave off some titles and I held court a few times, which also can give acceptance. We could form a hybrid culture in 10 years, but I will leave this video here. Now, if this video gets 1000 likes, I will play a second part as this character and as his heir, Constantinus. And then we'll see how much we can restore Rome, if we can conquer all of the Mediterranean areas and maybe even expand somewhere else, maybe even all the way to Asia. So you better smash like and of course subscribe and leave a comment. And I will catch you guys in the next video.